look into what to do. Right, here we go. So, Tuesday morning, we've obviously had a big swing during Asia, right? Couple of things to have a look at this morning. We've got Ukraine obviously bombing or sending drone attacks over to sending drone attacks over to what am I trying to what am I trying to say here? Come on. Right, well, we have had Ukraine drone attacks on a Russian gas station. Not quite really affected the market too much. Obviously, gold, like we mentioned, equaling all-time highs. Very, very interesting because I saw so many reels over the weekend from expert traders how well, expert traders with Lamborghinis and tattoos saying that gold's going to dump now. No, nothing's changed. The outlook hasn't changed. We're obviously at all-time highs. So just to obviously be aware, that's obviously where we are. At outlooks haven't changed. So we've obviously had Russia, Ukraine. We obviously had that. We've had Trump has come out and said that obviously the only way to resolve the war is to split up. My mind's gone blank. Maybe it's because we are half an hour earlier, but obviously the region which they're battling over, he's worked out how to split it up. Yes, majority goes towards Russia, but it's a nice clean process and it'll end the 4-year war. That's a that's the only thing to keep an eye on because it's the first time he's come out and made a comment on it. If they do split it up, it's gonna release a little bit of safe haven pressure, right? So that to me would be one thing that would reduce gold. We've obviously then had Democrats and Republicans are still battling. So what does that mean? It means government is in a blackout for another week. This is the third week running. Trump is also off to China, and he's pretty confident they're going to get a deal. So trade dollar, yeah, everything's kind of been happening. Oh, followed up by Japan. The reason yen has tanked, right? And we'll go through this now that they've, um, got a new prime minister. I'm going to try and say it, but I don't think it's going to be right. Takachi probably is. I don't know. um, but obviously, yes, amazing name enough. Girl power and all that. She's obviously the first Japanese lady prime minister. Um, so yeah, it's yeah, quite a big thing. However, they are not the most aggressive, or the terms that they want to put in are very, very dovish. Plus it's not been clean. They've had to partner up with another party to get this across the table. So that's obviously why yen has been hit hard. All right, now if I just leave this all here, if we look at dollar here, all right, yes, the dollar pumped. I think we might have a reversal here, right? Which makes it a bit tricky, all right? I do think yen's gonna stay where it is, but I think AUD, NZD are gonna creep up the table, and obviously that is this is obviously strongest three right now against weakest. However, just be aware. I do think these might creep up the table, and obviously US dollar drop. Let's just have a look since I only did this like half an hour ago. So yeah, as you can see here, Swiss has already overtaken the dollar in regards to it is up, so we obviously need to be aware of that. And obviously these things will start to change. I think dollar might pop down a bit, and AUD NZD might pop up a bit. So to me, that's what we could potentially be looking at here. I was monitoring AUD USD just because we've obviously hit this double bottom here. We are trending to the upside. So let's wait and see. I do like this trade. If we do continue to get obviously some the dollar weakness, which it won't be huge, but if we do, then I think I'd like to see something like this happen. All right, because I do think AUD will start to kind of strengthen. So I'm going to put this one in the group. There we go. Why is that not? There we go. Right. I don't want to confuse anyone. If there's a line, it adds on an extra price on the side of the screen. So we don't want that. There we go. So let's put this one here. There we go. Not that one. So I'm just adding this in right now, guys. So we got AUD. Right. Must break 15 minutes and retest. Opening range. There we go. That makes it a little bit clearer. So this obviously must, I would imagine, probably on a 30-minute. We've got about 5 minutes left. I'd love that to then read test here. And then I think we could, worst case, we're going to be looking at testing this area here. All right, because we're always, it has been trending quite heavy to the upside, but obviously we just want this to give us something. So that is AUD. So just have a look at euro. Euro is very, very, very similar. However, what I don't like about euro is we are trending to the downside here. So I'd probably want to monitor euro, if I was honest, around here. Right, that's where I'd like to monitor. I'm going to monitor for a little bit, but obviously we're going to get one of two things. We're going to get this either continue, or we're going to get this break, retest, and then obviously, yeah, we're going to then push higher. All right. So looking at the news wise, we've obviously got some CPI data for this afternoon. So we're going to hold off on CAD. We haven't even got any forecast data, which is irritating. So that should come in before the news comes out. So then we can, I mean, we trade at 2 p.m. anyway, so we can really capitalize on CAD a bit later on. We've got obviously EuroCAD, GBP CAD, and USD CAD, CAD JPY, everything. Yen pairs, obviously. Let's just monitor these, coming back. If we're going to do anything with these, it's going to have to be the weaker pairs, which will be NZD and AUD at the moment. But obviously gold is recovering, so that's going to drag these up ever so slightly. What was the other one at the bottom? It was yen pound 2, wasn't it? So that's what wait and see. Very, very irritating actually. We come out about break even on Euro JPY yesterday. I think it was this move here. We came out about here, but obviously, yeah, it would have smashed our take profit yesterday. So let's just go through what else we've got going on here. So let's give some alternatives. It is one thing that makes it tricky is when you get quite a big move during Asia, because the chances of this continuing are, slim. It might be a case that we're obviously waiting for those pullbacks before it that then kind of, continues to the downside. So, for example, GBP, we might want to wait for this move here, a little bit consolidation, and then this might be a nice afternoon trade for us here. So just to be aware of that one. This would be ideal for us, like I've been speaking about. If you're trading the correct lots and the correct risk, all you're looking for in between these blue lines, that's from Sunday night to Friday night, you would only need one trade. So this obviously might be the trade, because if we can get a rejection from the channel, we're below the EMA, we're obviously trending. So this might be your obviously highest probability trade here for uh, GBP USD. So I'm going to put this one in here because I do like this, but obviously, remember, all we would need is a move like this, 5 lots, 30 pips. That's your 1K, and then that's your week done if you're trying to make obviously 4K month. And this is how crazy trading is. But obviously I'm going to put this one in here so everybody knows. So here we go. Let's move this over again. So we've got GBP USD. Where are we? Here we are. GBP USD sell. Trade setup. There we go. So that is number two. Yen pairs, I still think these are going to trend higher. So let's wait and see. Euro, I'd be happy to monitor. I'm not interested here. I'm interested here. Right? We already know that euro is pretty strong. So if we can get just a little test into this area, I would like to take this and take this higher. But we've obviously got to probably extend it a little bit, probably this kind of area here. All right, that would be prime for me if we're looking at this on the hourly. Technically closed higher, but obviously peaked higher. But this would be the area here where we'd be monitoring to take this higher. So if we put this here, everybody should understand. Euro JPY is one that I do like. So let's put this here. Oops. Euro JPY. There we go. So that will be one there. All right. Other yens. Let's just have a look at what we've got here. CAD, AUD. I mean, AUD is horrible. We've then obviously got Euro AUD and GBP AUD, which were looking like they were going to trend. I think personally, the area for these is going to be here. All right, because we are in this downtrend. Yeah, you can see that. So we want to. Yes, this is 100% going to drive up here, and there are different trading strategies where obviously you could take this. However, I would rather take my time, and not obviously push it like that. But obviously, yeah, that's not going to work. Let's just leave that. GBP NZD, Euro NZD. I mean, look how much this has already moved during Asia. That's crazy moved. But obviously there is still space for it to move to the upside. So I'd say potential, this is what we would call the Tokyo drift for everyone asking, comes back in and then rejects, but let's wait and see. GBP CAD flying, EuroCAD's going to be flying too. So these were obviously earlier. Remember, we've obviously hopped on here a bit earlier. So, we need to be aware of. I'm going to keep it at 3 today. So we have got AUD USD, GBP USD, and Euro JPY. All right, because we've obviously had such a significant move during Asia. that I don't think we're going to be pushing too hard. I'd probably push this up a little bit more, something like this. But yeah, I do think there's an opportunity that this level might hold here. And then obviously we might get that nice continuation to the upside. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Um, Robin, won't USD GBP USD buy? Well, this is obviously what we are, anticipating here. We obviously want it to push up, right? And then we're monitoring here, very, very similar to Euro, in regards to, look at trend. Yeah. Right. Trend will give you that overall probability of what, might potentially happen. Right. So always look at trend. But, like I've mentioned here, right? If we come back in and obviously test all of this previous support here now, resistance, if this, doesn't hold and it continues, yes, GBP is going to be trading up here. But if it's going to turn around anywhere and, follow the trend that's been happening, then yes, it's got to drive up into here. And so, if you wanted to, yes, you could buy up into this area. But obviously, the long term, more pre-planned, outlook would be to wait for it to come into this area. Obviously, if we go and break through, I can delete this now. But if we go and break through, yes, it is going to pop up potentially and obviously hit this high here. All right. And so, okay, so we'll a target of 134432. That's very precise, Robin. 134432. I mean, that's pretty high. That's pretty high. So, it doesn't matter how you kind of look at it. I think it's due a pullback anyway. Yes, we're trending on a slightly higher time frame, 4 hour. We're trending to the upside, but we all know what goes up must come down. What goes down must come up. So I would say we probably got a probability of this happening. For me to be confident, I'd want it to break through this area here to then continue. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna hold it off here because I've got the school run this morning. I like Euro JPY. This would be my favorite. We've then obviously got AED USD and GBP USD. We're just gonna wait on and then hopefully monitor it. Probably I'd like to be entering this probably no later than about 9:30. Otherwise, it's going to be afternoon. And then obviously, yes, this afternoon we're going to be monitoring CAD. I'm also going to sneak in a live for everyone later on. So make sure you're free tonight. And obviously we'll do a live. And obviously we'll look into some different types of trading and obviously how to, plan and yeah, what to do. So yeah, but I hope everyone has a great day. And yeah, let's smash it, guys. Have a good one, yeah?